Hi there, I'm Rabbi Molly Wiesel from Temple B'nai Torah, and I am here with our artist in residence, Josh Niehaus. And we are so excited to bring you something new that we're calling Tefillah Tidbits on Tuesdays, something like that. Basically, we want to share some new melodies with you and do a little bit of a deep dive into some prayers that we don't always get to focus on during our Shabbat service. So each Tuesday, we're going to be sharing a video with you, a little bit of teaching, a little bit of music, and we hope that you enjoy and will be part of the conversation with us. So we're starting out this series with, we decided to focus on the Kabbalat Shabbat section of our service because there is so much in there and we don't have time for it all. Um, and so we thought it would be a great opportunity to focus on the liturgy of the first part of our Friday night service, which is welcoming or receiving Shabbat. So the Kabbalat Shabbat service, it's made up almost entirely of Psalms. And what starts the Kabbalat Shabbat section is a series of 6 Psalms. Each Psalm is supposed to represent the 6 days of creation in our creation narrative. And it also allows us, as we recite each of the 6 Psalms, to sort of mentally walk through what our week has been leading up to Shabbat. But the Psalms, there's so much more than that. Our teacher, Larry Hoffman, says that Kabbalat Shabbat is cream masquerading as milk, which I love. That it might look like ordinary words and sentences. Oh, this is nice. We're reciting Psalms. That's lovely. But as Larry says, it's so much richer than that. It's cream. It's thick. It is delicious. So we're going to start with the first Psalm of our Kabbalat Shabbat service, which is Psalm 95. And it appropriately starts with the line, "Let us sing to Adonai. Come, let us sing to Adonai." And we sing these psalms as we get into the spirit of Shabbat. On Shabbat, we set aside 25 hours and we declare that as sacred time that's different from the whole rest of our week. So I want to focus on 2 verses in Psalm 95. The first is verse 3, which says, "A great God is Adonai, the great ruler over all those whom we permit to rule over us." So this is a different translation that you might find in your prayer book. Uh, this translation comes from Rabbi Richard Levy, Zichronam Livracha, may his memory be for a blessing, one of my most beloved teachers. And shortly before his death, he wrote a beautiful translation of the Psalms, which also included a commentary of the Psalms called Songs Ascending. And this is the way he translates verse 3. "A great God is Adonai, the great ruler over all those whom we permit to rule over us." And he writes in that commentary that the Hebrew word is Elohim. That's a word we hear all the time in our prayers, Elohim. And literally that means gods, plural, it's plural for gods. But he chose to translate it as all those whom we permit to rule over us, because he wrote, if there's only one God, the plural gods cannot mean beings with real powers, but only beings or objects to whom we grant power over us. Tyrants, intimidating employers, even designer products that we think will change our natures. Shabbat helps us to break out of those power cycles. We put away our phones, detach from our work email that we feel so chained to. And Psalm 95 helps us to start out on that journey of separating. So Josh, one of the goals of our project is that we're introducing new melodies to our community so that we can sing them together on Fridays. So I'm hoping you have a new melody for Psalm 95 that you want to teach us.
Thank you, Rabbi. Yes, I do have a melody that I particularly love um, for Psalm 95. And one of the reasons I love this is it comes from Israel, from a group called Nava Tehila, which we've already incorporated some of their tunes. We do their Oseh Shalom a lot. But I love how they focus on those words there. The roiling ocean is your quiet pond. You've designed it. our hands sculpted the dry land's vast expanse. And they focus on that part. To me, the roiling ocean is your quiet pond is a really powerful visual, and I think they wrote a beautiful melody that juxtaposes that tumultuous crashing of waves, the roiling ocean, and the quiet pond, the serenity that we feel when we come together and we sing as a community. So for me, it is those moments of the tumultuous crashing of the waves that we all experience in life that actually bring me to a place of connection and a need for faith and a need for community, a need to come together. And it's easy to actually kind of walk through life without paying attention to all of the things that are going around us when everything's easy. But it's some of the difficult moments that I think make me pause. And I find that need for gratitude and for connection and spirituality. So I love that they really honed in on that. And they wrote a beautiful melody that I'm going to share now. And I'll sing it a few times with the words and maybe a couple times just la la la. And so we can get it. And I can't wait till we can be together again and sing this in the sanctuary. Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Ve'abeshet Yadav Yasaru Ve'abeshet Yadav That's it. We're going to keep singing it again. Let's do it together. Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Ve'abeshet Yadav Yatzaru Ve'abeshet Yadav Yatzaru Yadadai It's a peaceful melody as we're singing about the tumultuous crashing of the waves. And if you listen to the recording that Nava Tehila does, they invite children to sing along for one of the verses, and it's, focusing all the beautiful things that bring us joy and quiet through the challenges of life. So let's sing the words one last time. Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Asher Lo Hayam Vehu Asahu Ve'abeshet Yadav Yatzaru Ve'abeshet Yadav Yatzaru.
I love that. Thank you, Josh. And I love what you said about noticing the different how the words don't exactly match up with the melody. And we don't often get a chance in services to talk about some of the what the melody evokes for us. We're often so focused on the words. So I'm curious if you want to talk a little bit more about how you feel about this melody and what it says about the words.
To me, this melody is like comfort food. You know, I know you play a little guitar. For people who don't, I mean, we're you know, I've got the capo on, but it's G D C. I mean, it's really your most standard simple stuff, which is very intentional when Nava Tehila does it, because Nava Tehila throws in complex stuff, and a lot of their harmonies are complex, and a lot of their songs have, you know, a standard song has 3 to 4 chords. They might throw in 6, 7, 8 chords in one progression, and so by playing such a simple chord progression with such a simple melody, it really is intentional. There's a lot of kavanah behind it, and I think that it's just beautiful to juxtapose the crashing nature of challenges and hardships with this comfort food, for lack of a better term for it, that I find to just add so much more. I think you're right. We don't really talk about the artist's vision behind it. We talk a little bit about the meaning behind the prayers, and a lot of melodies jump out at us because they're catchy and the rhythms are great. But these artists that are prevalent in the Jewish world right now. And I really think that we're in this sort of a renaissance of Jewish music. Everybody knows the Debbie Friedman era, and she was, you know, there was a concert for her last week for her Yortzeit that over 5,000 people tune in. She was a giant, right? And we are also in a moment right now where I think there are so many people that are writing incredibly impactful, beautiful music like Nava Tehila, but like Michelle Citron, who's going to be visiting our community soon, like Shira Klein, who's going to be visiting our community this week, this month. Yeah, I think this is a beautiful example of how sometimes simple can be the right choice. And there's beauty and complexity even in simplicity.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for bringing this melody. And I'm so excited to sing it with all of you at our Shabbat services. And we hope that you'll join us this Friday, this Shabbat, at our 7 o'clock Kabbalat Shabbat service as we leave our hopefully not too chaotic week, but our chaotic week, and join together in Psalm 95, which helps us welcome in the calmness of Shabbat. See you all later. Thank you.